I'm going to try and give us a definition here of what organizational culture is. This is not my definition. This is actually from a 1980s paper, and it's quoted by Clay Christensen from HBS, who is a pioneer of disruption theory. So, and you'll see on the left a lot of what was said. It's a pattern of basic assumptions. It's invented, discovered, or developed by a given group over time as the group learns to cope with both external problems and problems of internal integration. So external sources that are coming in and creating issues or opportunities for the group, and problems of cohesion within the team. That has worked well enough in the past to now be considered valid. And here's the key for risk to growth. And therefore is taught to new members as the correct way to perceive, to think, and to feel in relation to those problems. And so what it is this is like evolution when you think about it. We adapt, we realize there are ways of dealing with external threats. There are ways of enhancing internal collaboration. This is how a group learns, whether it's an individual, how they learn within an environment, but also as groups we learn. And it goes all the way back to survival. This is a way of a group to pass along its collective knowledge. If you behave in a certain way, it will yield good results, or it will avoid bad results. But what does this mean for growth? So what this means is, on the one hand, culture can be a great competitive advantage. What does this do? It syncs up the team. It makes collaboration easier. It makes communication easier. Everything becomes more efficient. And it focuses the team on a common objective that almost becomes instinctual because it is our pattern of behavior that has been proven in the past. And yet this is exactly why companies get disrupted. This is why companies don't see foreign competitors until it's too late. And it's why sometimes they are blind to opportunities which in hindsight everyone sees as obvious. Of course, that's in hindsight. If you take it today, that's not as obvious. A pandemic, in hindsight, has lots of effects that we all think are obvious, but if we really rewound the clock and put ourselves in our mindsets of January 2020, those might not seem as obvious. And so, really the danger here is groupthink. So as the groups converge onto a pattern, as they converge and they adopt assumptions, what happens is those assumptions, and now I'm on the right here in the box, might be, it's an eye exam today for the people in the back, but these basic assumptions are taken for granted. And if there's any variation in these assumptions, what happens is the group will protect those assumptions because those assumptions have carried the group through all of these external and internal problems. And so if you have someone who challenges it, then that person might be shut down. That person might feel pressure, or they might be deemed difficult to work with. If any of this sounds familiar, you know, perhaps you see where culture can be both critical for a company's success, but also can be a stumbling block for growth.